away at the back corner of my yard, and I'm super pleased that I have 26.7 megabytes up. So I'm using a Wi-Fi extender. It's right over here in this right here. You can see all the lights are lit up. I am on 5G. This is about half the distance from my router to the backyard. And I have an assistant today. She may be holding the camera at times. And we're going to do 2 hive inspections and possibly harvest some honey. So the smoker's already going. And this hive right here was a kind of a weak swarm that I had captured. And there's some ants on it right now, but I've already treated it for ants. So these ants are probably just stuck on an island. They can't get off the island. So there's a feeder on it, and that's why the ants are on it. They generally don't get into the honey supply, but they do get into the syrup. So let me show you what we got going on here. I'm going to smoke it down here, and I'm also going to smoke it up here because there's 2 deeps on this. The first deep was a weak swarm that I captured, and the second is an even weaker swarm that Kimberly Krieger captured. And here's the syrup. Probably just going to go ahead and pull that off. We'll just pull that off of here, and we'll take a look and see if there's a queen in this box. So I'm going to hand the phone to Lynn, my assistant today. She's going to keep the phone held horizontally. She's not going to cover up the camera. She's just going to hold it here and here. And she's just going to point it at me. And she'll look through the camera, not look at me. Look through the camera where we're looking at. So I'm going to put my hood on. Keep my face safe from bee stings. We are in the sun, but the temperature is still in the 70s, so we're doing good here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little smoke again to mask the alarm signals that these bees might send out. And let me grab my hive tool. Not that I'll need it a whole lot. I am going in without gloves because I'm not too worried about it. So, yep, that was a little sealed on there. I'll just move that out of the way. There's some moths in it and there's some bees in it. So, here's what we got. We've got some nice little bees. This is some drawn out comb. Looks like they're drawing out more, so they're doing good. That's a completely blank frame. And these next 2 frames are actually some brood. So there's still some brood in there. There is some ants in here, which is unfortunate. I don't know if this brood will hatch or not, but it's inconsequential. We have some apivar in here. That's to treat for varroa mites. Here's some more brood. It looks like some of it is hatching out. In fact, I can see one hatching out right now. There's one hatching out right now. You can see its little head is popped up there. She's trying to climb out. She's literally hatching out right now. I'm going to try to put this as close to the camera as I can. Right here, this little bee is hatching out. So at least some of this brood is going to survive. There is no queen in here. There are ants in here, which I don't like. It looks like these 2 hives have married. And the reason I say that is they have chewed holes through the newspaper. So Lynn, if you can hand me the camera. Thank you very much. And I'm just gonna hopefully tilt it down without having it stop working. And you can see they've dug at least 3 holes through there. So these 2 hives have married. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna do with this hive. You don't cover up the camera lens. Always just hold on the side. No, you're still kind of, there you go, right there on the side. Okay, and you go ahead and take a couple steps back. I'm gonna push this back over and I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm hoping that the rest of that brood will hatch. So that's pretty much all we're doing. in this hive. There is no queen in the upper section. If there was a queen there, the two queens would have fought it out, one of them would have won, and it would be all over. So, now we're going to go into the long lang straw. And I'm going to get you to go ahead and back up just to right here so you're not blocking the hive behind you. Okay? And this is the box I'm going to use for harvesting. I'm actually going to set it on top of this other hive. And when I pull out frames from the long lang straw, I'm going to place them in this box. I'll knock all the bees off of them first, brush other bees off of them, and then I'll place them in here. And this has a special lid that allows bees to easily escape, but it makes it very difficult for more bees to get back inside. So we're all set up here to harvest. We're also going to do some hive inspections on this one as well. So I'm going to start by pumping some smoke into it. Oh, I really wanted this to stay on the bottom. Got some plums on it. We won't be harvesting plums today. So I'm just going to lift this up. So this, when I pick this up later, I want it to have a solid bottom. So that'll work. So we are all set. So I'll start putting frames in here. I am going to wear my gloves. I always wear gloves when harvesting. So let's see if I move this over here. That's another place I can set tools. We'll give it another puff of smoke in here. And then as I open this up, I will have Lynn come around and hand me the camera so I can show you what it looks like in a long lang straw. So you can stay right there, Lynn. Hopefully your fingers aren't in front of the camera. It's kind of hard not to. So if you just hold it, Lynn, just hold it on the sides like that. There you go. There you go. Perfect. And thank you so much for helping. Oh, I don't need the gloves quite yet. I'll use them in just a second. Let's first pop it open. Take a look.
Whoa.
So if you go ahead and hand me the camera.
Yeah, because
Okay, so this is what a long lang straw looks like inside. It has basically these slats for an inner lid, and they are very well sealed down right now because they've used a lot of propolis to seal this down. I'm going to start way over here at this end. And the reason why is this is where there's the least activity. And there's bees all the way over here. Wow. Wow is right. Okay, so I'm just going to tap those bees off and set this aside.
Hey guys.
Okay, so here, Lynn, you can stand right where you are. And go ahead and hold the camera again, just like that. Good deal. And wait just a second, I'm going to get the smoker again. And we're going to smoke these bees back down in. Okay, come on, smoker. Let's work. There we go. Not sure why it's not really. There we go. Get some smoke in here. And just smoking this should make these bees go down in. Okay, so let me pick up that board that fell. Okay, and I pretty much want to keep these in order. Wow, that's nice. 3 came off together. I'll take that. Wow, there's probably over 60,000 bees in this box.
Oh my God.
This is really a super healthy hive. One of the best ways to get bees off of something is to actually hit your own hand that's holding the board. See all those bees on there? And I just hit my own hand and all the bees fall off. Well, most all the bees fall off. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more smoke in here. Now here at the end where we saw bees all the way down, I have my plastic frames, and these are some frames I picked up for free, so I'm not complaining that they're plastic. They're not my choice. I am going to replace all of these frames with natural foundation. Now, you can see on here, it's actually drawn out comb on that board. So I'm just gonna set that aside as well. I'm really just gonna make a couple spaces here. There's another one. There's no comb on that one. Okay, I've got plenty of room to work now. So what I'm just gonna do is I'll probably take this full set, slide them all over at once. Okay. Now this looks like the first one that's got a decent amount of drawn out comb on it. Look at that. And they are filling that up with honey.
Wow.
And this is all the way over at this end of the hive. I don't actually know the count of the number of frames in here, but it is 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th board from the end, and they're putting honey on it right now. The next one over has some drawn out comb, but no honey on it. The next one has capped honey. So it's only, this side is not capped. This side is partially capped. So that's not one I want to harvest. I want to harvest only honey comb frames that are 80% capped. So I've got a couple of little beetle traps in here. I'm just going to slide those over out of the way. They've actually sealed them up with propolis, so I am going to take these out of here and clean them out because they will not catch beetles when they're filled with propolis. You can see the openings are completely filled with propolis, so no beetles can get in there. I will try to preserve that mineral oil. No point in wasting it. Okay, so the next frame.
Wow.
This side is almost
Whoa.
fully done. This is fully done. I could harvest that side of the frame, but because it's only, well, no, it's 60% on that side. So again, not a frame we're ready to harvest from yet. So we're moving right along, and I'm just going to give it a little more smoke. Keep these bees nice and calm.
Honey, it says low battery.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
If the video shuts off, it's because I wasn't wise enough to charge up my camera before I started this. And that's okay, because we're actually going to get through it. This is 70% capped on one side and almost 100% on the other side. We are harvesting this frame of honey right here. So I'm going to knock these bees off.
Oh.
Do it again. Okay, so they're not all coming off, and I just got stung.
Oh shit.
So I probably crushed a bee, which is one of the reasons why I normally wear gloves when harvesting. So I'm gonna get you to back up nice and slow. Watch the vine behind you. Keep going. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get this brush to get things off. I really should go put some vinegar on this right away, but I'm not going to.
I can't.
I did get it out. So my gloves are right here. We're gonna put those on so we don't do what I just did, which was basically crush a little bee. And I was rewarded by getting stung. I want to clean this honey off my hands, but I'll be right back. So Lynn, just back up slowly that way.
It says low battery.
I know it says low battery.
Okay.
Okay, so here, all we got to do is tap the screen. Tap, no, right there. Just close it. Right there. Okay, there.
Okay.
Okay, so you can just stand here for a minute. I'm just going to rinse my hands. I don't want honey inside my gloves.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to put my gloves back on, and you come back around here where you can get a view of this. But I need you to keep a clear path to here. So
Okay.
here,
You
hold,
better.
hold the camera up and point it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see me doing this, and then you can also see me transfer the frame to the other box. So between 90% on one side and 70% on the other. It averages out to 80% capped. We are going to harvest this frame.
Where are we? Come on, guys.
And I've got my gloves on, so no more getting stung on the fingertips. Well, that's wonderful, because while I was doing that, the majority of the bees came off of this. There's the bee I killed. Right there. You can see the bee I killed. Looks like I killed 2 of them. And that's why I got stung, because I actually squeezed them. And when I did the tap, I actually smashed one and it killed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there I got most of them off. Now I'm going to use the brush to brush the rest of them off. Look at that side, fully capped. Okay, so there's a couple bees left on here. I'm not going to worry too much about them, because I have this unit behind me that will allow the bees to fly out of here. Okay, so that's one.
Didn't want to do it there.
So let's go ahead and give it some more smoke. Now the next frame is extremely dark honey, which I find very pleasing, and some people like. It's a very rich honey. It could come from camphor trees or eucalyptus trees, or even other types of trees. So I'll take out a few more of these top boards. I am going to be scraping off this wax, but I'll probably do most of that when I come back and I'm putting them back in. I will not be taking off the propolis. I could harvest propolis from this hive as well, but I'm not going to. So there, we've got a good opening, some more frames to work on. We're limiting the amount of intrusion step at a time. I really am finding this LongLangHarvest quite an interesting thing to work in now. So the next frame has the dark honey on it, and it looks to be fully capped. And it's quite heavy. It's fully capped.
Look at that.
Okay, so got most of them off with that. I'm going to use the brush for the rest. So when I process this honey, I will definitely be separating it from the lighter honey. Look at that, I got almost every single bee off of this one. Just gently brushing them off. And there we go. Super dark honey. Super dark, rich honey. So we'll put this in this box over here. And I'm going to go ahead and slide the cover over so that no more bees go in there. So the next one is another super dark honey. This is really sweet. Super dark honey.
Wow.
And it looks to be, the next one is going to be this way as well. So I hope the video doesn't stop too soon. We'll probably get one more warning on low battery before it does. So I'll probably end the stream after that. We'll be lucky if we get a half an hour out of this. So I'm just getting all these bees off, as many as I can, gently sweeping these little girls off of here. And there we go. So maybe 1 or 2 left, that's okay. We're gonna add it to this box.
Oh, here.
There you go. So this is an empty box that I'm filling up with honey that I'm harvesting. And I will be, there's a little bit of burr comb on the bottom of these, so that's why it's not wanting to. So, looks like one more here of dark, maybe more than that. At least one more dark. What a great bunch of girls. Hard workers. Peel off some more of this. And if this one has burr comb on the bottom of it, I'll probably take it off, because what it causes is when it goes in that box, if there's burr comb that sits down too far, is it makes the frames go sideways. And there is a bunch of burr comb on this one. This one's actually connected to the last one. Again, some super dark, rich honey here. So, and then yeah, that's Looks like drone brood on the bottom of that. So the queen has come this far over it that there's drone brood on it. Okay, here we go. Get most of those bees off. And after this one, I'm gonna go ahead and smoke it. Yeah, she's even laid regular brood in this one. I can see a pattern. Yeah, here at the bottom. So, while the majority of this is full of honey, there is some drone brood. Oh. In fact, there was a drone right there. I just knocked a drone down in. Okay, so before I put this in that box, I'm gonna take off this burr comb at the bottom. There we go. Now I leave that on when I'm just doing a regular hive inspection because it actually gives a ladder for the bees to climb up on from the bottom of the hive. I eliminate some of it, but I leave a little bit for ladders. I'm just gonna get these last couple bees off of here. And there you can see that they were using this for brood. So she was over here. There's some, it's filled with honey now, but that pattern shows me that she actually was laying eggs there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in the box. Did it just make a ding? Is the camera still working?
Yeah, it's still there.
You can still see? You're still seeing through the camera. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's see how much more. So I thought I would get about 50 pounds of honey out of this thing. I'm gonna have to weigh it afterwards because I've definitely got 50 pounds already.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. This one is not fully capped. I won't be harvesting this one. So I've got a nice round pattern, and you can see right here, if you bring the camera a little closer and point, see she's laying brood in here. So I am going to clean off this extra burr comb on this side because it's causing it to connect to another one. In fact, let's go ahead and knock some of these bees off. And I'm going to smoke them. And now I'm just going to clean off this extra burr comb, hopefully without crushing and killing too many bees. And some of the bees are getting a little upset now. And that may be because I've killed one or two in the process, which is unfortunate, but it happens. Come on, girls, stop drinking the honey from there. There you go. All right. And there you can see a nice horseshoe pattern. Nice horseshoe. So there's honey here for them to eat, and this is where their brood is. Same here. And you can see the brood is hatched out. So let's clean off this extra bit of burr comb on here, and I'm going to put this frame back, and I'm probably going to end this inspection at this point because now I'm into brood. Well, no, I'm going to follow the advice of the expert that I asked questions to before beginning this, and I am going to continue my inspection further because there might be places where I actually want to add some blank frames into the middle of this in order for her to have more area to lay eggs in. And the reason why I say that is I've harvested 4 frames already, so I have to replace those anyways, but I might want to replace them deeper into this area in order for her to not feel like she's honey bound, not feel like she doesn't have room to move around in. So I'm gonna take my glove off for just a minute. If you could hand me the phone, please. Lynn, hand me the phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Stick to it.
So, look at all these bees. Look at all those bees. Look at that frame just coated with bees. And that's dark honey on there. This is dark honey on both sides. I don't know how much brood is in here, but when I knock this off, we'll get to see it. Let's see who's here. Sableton, hey, good morning, Sable. Good to see you. So, Lynn, go ahead.
Sorry.
There you go. No need to apologize. You're doing an awesome job. You're actually a better videographer than Marshall, and he won't even be offended by that because he'll agree with me. Because he often stops looking through the camera and starts looking at what's going on, and that's because he's a beekeeper and wants to know what's going on. Okay, so look at this.
Wow.
This side is only 50% capped, and this side is even less. So I'm not gonna harvest from this one. Make sure I don't crush any bees. I'm just gonna set one corner down. I'm gonna take off this little chunk of burr comb here. There we go. There's a drone right there. Yep, we're not harvesting from that one either. So these last two are a mixture of brood and honey, and neither one is capped enough to harvest. So slowly building up a ball of wax here that has less and less bees on it. Get back in there, little one, and you guys get back in there. There we go. So I keep making a ball out of it. They'll leave it alone, and then I'll just throw that in the solar melter. Okay, let's keep going. Let's find out what's going on in here. Wow, lots of bees.
Whoa.
That's unfortunate. So we're going to change that option. That was unfortunate. So the smoke also makes the bees go down. It masks their alarm signals and it makes them go down. So far I don't have any bees hitting on me. They're not banging on my face. That's always a good thing. And this doesn't have to be done what I'm doing right here, but I have a little bit of OC, not D, just OC. I'm a little obsessive compulsive about making things easy to work in for myself as well as the bees. So just pop off another frame and let's see what we got going on here. Ton of brood. So this has got an okay pattern of brood on it here. It looks like they're starting to replace some of the brood with honey. There's bees hatching in there, right in the center. I don't know if the camera's catching that or not. This side is completely full of brood in a nice horseshoe pattern. I'm gonna leave that ladder on. There's still a drone in there that's about to hatch. I'm not gonna kill those drones. We don't really need many drones at this time of year. Okay. Thought I saw a hive beetle just now. I'm not too concerned about that. This hive has been treated with Apivar. Okay, come on girls, let's scoot these out of the way. Here, how about you guys? Yeah, there you go. Let's get out of there. Good girls. I try to injure as few bees as possible. It's not possible to injure 0 bees all the time. Okay, so here, it's an example of some of that burr comb at the bottom that has drone brood in it. And because that one got ripped open, it's gonna die anyways. I'm just gonna take that out. Now here, seeing a nice pattern of honey, seeing a little bit of brood on it, not a lot. I don't think I need to go any further. She's doing a really good job of laying eggs throughout the hive. I don't think she feels honey bound. They have good horseshoe patterns. That's going to be it, folks. I am going to seal up this hive. I'm not going to go any further. I don't need to see the queen. I know she's here. And I've already killed 1 or 2 bees and I've killed 1 or 2 drones. So I'm actually see if I can slide both these frames over at the same time. That eliminates the possibility of crushing, and I just go nice and slow when I'm sliding these over so the bees just move out of the way and I don't hear any popping or cracking sounds. So I'm going to leave this honey way over here where it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some blank frames here. I will just go ahead and start covering it back up, and nice and slow. Okay, so I'm going to start by moving these beetle traps out and just set them up here. Hopefully they don't fall over and spill all the mineral oil. I'd like to keep the mineral oil. I just want to clean the propolis out of it. So just move some of these blank frames in. And there was one that had some drawn out comb on it. I'm going to push that in there. Nice and tight. one more of those. Now I'm going to push these 2 honey frames over, like that. Put in 3 more slats.
Jeez.
Pampas grass must have made its way in here during the last inspection. Okay, get off that little bit of wax. Well, I think we got 50 pounds. I thought we might get more, but I'm okay with holding off on that for right now. That's how the pampas grass gets in there. Okay, it was nice and tight. So this one can go in, and now what I'm going to have to do is go get 4 frames to replace those 4 frames that I took out. So I can grab my tools out of here, can brush these little bees off of the ball of wax I got. Done with the smoker. So if you just step back one little step, Lynn. Okay, so I'm going to put all my tools over here out of the way. And I'm going to go grab 4 frames. I'll be right back.
Want me to hold these?
You can just stay right there, then I'll be right back with the 4 frames.
Okay. I guess.
Right, so I can probably sneak around the backside here now that I've picked up most of my stuff. So I'm just going to drop these 4 frames in. Put the last inner cover boards on. Make them nice and tight. And this really has to change. I'm gonna get so much for them being in order. I might have to number these. Just take a Sharpie and go in and number them. I'm just trying to get them nice and tight. And you can even see the pattern on that. This is the last board here on the end, and it's inside the lip. Let's get off any of these dead bees here. We're going to go ahead and pull out our beetle traps. Okay, and everyone clear away so nobody gets crushed. Come on. Okay, good deal. I don't think I crushed a single one there. And that is it, folks. That was a harvest and an inspection of a LongLangHarvest, and I will upload this to YouTube. For Lynn, my awesome videographer, thank you very much. And for now, ride her out.